हम लोग सब मास्टर हो गए ना अभी, Zoom
Yes,
और
yes,
Google Meet और पता नहीं क्या 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 क्या।
yes, मैडम। और एग्जैक्ट जो भी अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस में, तो इमीडिएटली स्टूडेंट भी हमें गाइड करते हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि भाई
हाँ,
बोल दे भाई
राइट
प्रोसेसर बोल दे।
राइट। हाँ,
वेरी
स्टूडेंट्स आर एनीवे टेक्नोलॉजी savvy,
यस।
मतलब या हम भी
स्टूडेंट
सीख रहे हैं, which is
हाँ,
good. हम्म,
वो
true
वो
true.
यस।
हम्म,
आई थिंक मैडम recording is started. Vaishali
okay.
madam, just
Huh. Okay, shall we start?
introduction.
Are
Okay.
we starting?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. I will just introduce.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today, we are presenting webinar on Victory is in Your Hands, which is organized by Applied Science and Humanities Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. We will be running a live question and answer session at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, then just WhatsApp us on 7016390124 or 98980 38375. I would like to introduce today's presenter, Farzana Suri. She is a trainer and motivational speaker and an expert on human relationship and leadership mastery. She has done over 250 workshops, and as a victory coach, her purpose is to help each of us to achieve our highest level of potential. She gives a competitive advantage in fast changing, increasingly competitive world. Her programs encourage participants to harness the power of their mind for success both in personal and professional life. Her sessions are engaging, interactive, and high energy with a dash of fun in the fundamentals. We welcome you, madam.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. That was so beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely introduction. Thank you very much. And good morning to everyone. I hope you are having a great morning, and I'm sure that I will do everything I can to make it a super, super morning. Yeah. So if you feel that's great, then click your fingers. If you feel that's really good, click your fingers. I want to hear you click your fingers.
Okay.
I can't hear. Click your fingers. Yes, now I can hear. Okay, so I am fantastic. Thank you so much. So I am always asked, what is a victory coach? ये लाइफ कोच सुना है, बिजनेस कोच सुना है, एग्जीक्यूटिव कोच सुना है, ये विक्ट्री कोच क्या है? So first of all, I just want to share exactly what it is. So I come from an advertising background. I was in advertising for about, almost 16 and a half years. So I didn't want to just be anybody. I wanted to brand myself. And that's the reason why my main focus is on empowering people to win in life. That's my job. I inspire people to win and see winners within themselves. So I am like the personal trainer for your mind. If you need a good body, you need a personal trainer, right? So if you need a great mind and you need an active mind that is working towards being a champion, being a winner, being an achiever, then I'm the person for you. So what I do is I help you get clarity, yeah, because you need to know where you are going. I help you focus on your goal. I make you accountable on your goal, and I help you do the most important thing, which is take action. Because you may have a goal, you may have the best strategy, but if you are not applying that strategy, then it's of no use. So I help you take action, and which results in a victory mindset. Like I said, I'm all about victory. So when is a great time to talk to me? So I work with more than 5,500 clients in the last 8 years of my career. They span about 18 countries. So people who reach out to me are either unhappy in their career or their life or their business. They feel a little unfulfilled and empty, or sometimes they're unable to say no. No is a powerful word. Sometimes you need to say no to people and to situations and to certain habits that you have. So I help people to develop this power to say no. A lot of us go through feelings of guilt, and it's absolutely natural. But living in that guilt cannot will kind of keep you away from your victory. So I help people. I work with CEOs, I work with sports celebrities, I work with media celebrities, and my entire job out there is helping them not feel guilty about the things that they love and the things that they do. Many people are also fearful right now. So many things are happening around us, and I see a lot of people, only talking about, oh my God, ab hone kya wala hai? Arey, ye saal bilkul bekar hai, and these kind of things. So how I help you to know what next, and I help you to look at things from a brighter perspective, because I'm an optimist. I love looking at the bright side of things. So that is when people reach out to me. So I've worked with HDFC Life, HBO, Inox, ICICI, Merck, Google. I've done events for Google, Blue Dart, BBC News, DMart, and Sika Chemicals. I do a lot of training programs, speaker programs, and I also coach their senior leadership. That's some of my work. I get published in a lot of newspapers and magazines, not only in India, but also in the UK, for my, like Vaishali just said, on human relationships, on leadership skills, what makes a leader, why do relationships work and not work, how do I win in life? So those are the areas that I normally respond to. Okay, let's get back to our subject. So our subject is find the victor within, or victory is in your hands. So before we get into what, about victory and, victim and all of that, I want to ask you a question. What is victory? According to you, what is victory? Anyone? What is victory? So I normally get answers such as, victory means success, victory means winning, victory means achievement, victory means I've got my goal. And all these answers are right. Absolutely right. Okay, there's no wrong answer where victory is concerned. So I want to tell you that all of us, okay, we are living this life. Our life is like a multiplex. Have you been to the multiplex cinema? Before the pandemic, I'm sure you must have gone. Okay, so in fact, our lives are just like the multiplex cinema. When you go to a multiplex cinema, there are multiple movies that are going on in that cinema. You have drama, you have comedy, you have action, you have music, you have a lot of these things, in different theaters, right? Playing in a multiplex. So in our own lives, we live a life which is like the multiplex theater. Because हमारी life में भी drama है, music है, comedy है, थोड़ा सा action भी है, and कभी-कभी violence भी हो जाता है. Okay, this is part of our life. Okay. And the thing is that we all want to be the best people in whatever role we play. So whether you're a son, whether you're a daughter, whether you're a mother, whether you're a father, whether you're a sister, whether you're a brother, you are all trying to play perfect lives. But in the world, there is nothing called perfect. And we need to accept that. Okay. Once we accept that, then we will be ready to be able to walk on the path of victory. So I want to share a little story. So in the American Congress, that is the Parliament of America, there is a portrait of a gentleman. So you know him, right? So none of us really know him. If I really tell you, the only way we really know him, maybe our parents and our grandparents knew him, but none of us personally ever knew him. The only way we know him is on the note that we carry, the 2,000 rupee note, the 500 rupee note, wherever, because his picture is out there. When we look at him, we say that, we call him what? Mahatma. Okay? We call him the Mahatma. And we call ourselves what? As just ordinary Atmas. That is the thing, right? When you call somebody a Mahatma, then you become an ordinary Atma. So I wanted to share this, that in the American Congress, that is the American Parliament, there is a picture of this wonderful man alongside many other distinguished people. And the only thing, we all, when you see a photograph of these eminent people and all of that, what do you see over there? You see the name, right? Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. You will see M.K. Gandhi, or you will see 69 to 1948. That was when he was born and when he passed on into another world. Okay, but in his picture, where this picture is in the American Parliament, remember, not in the Indian Parliament, talking about the American Parliament, where this picture is, there is nothing written over there but just one line. And that one line says, a single man can make a difference. I'll repeat, a single man can make a difference. That is all that is written below his portrait. It's not written Father of Nation, it's not written Mahatma, it's not written M.K. Gandhi, nothing, just this. A single man can make a difference. Because ladies and gentlemen, you and I, all of us, are born to be victorious. You and I have everything that is needed for success. Okay, and we can make a difference in our lives. It doesn't matter whether I come from a small family or a big family. It doesn't matter whether I come from a poor family or a very, very rich family. It does not matter what is my religion, what is my gender, what is my caste, what is my financial capability. You and I both have the power in us to make a difference, not only to our families, not only to ourselves. We have the power to make a difference to the world around us, to our community. We have the power to make this whole universe beautiful. Are you ready for that? If you're ready for that, click your right finger and say, yes, I'm ready. Because today you're going to be on a path to win. You're already winners. I'm going to show you another way of winning. Okay, so one life, ladies and gentlemen, is not enough to make your life. One life is never enough, but you can make the most of that life because you can make a difference. You know what is needed for victory? There are some things that are needed for victory. And the first thing that is needed if you want to really win in life is you need to have a goal. You need to know where you're going. So if today I wanted to come to Parel University in Vadodara, and I got out of the station and I sat in, I have to call for an Uber or maybe a taxi. What will I do first? I will take out my GPS, my phone, and I will log in the address. We all need to know where we are going. So if you need to know where you are going, you need to know also what you need to go. You can go in a car, you can go by bus, you can go by a rickshaw, you can go by a two-wheeler, you can go by anything. But what is needed for victory is, first of all, like I said, the vision, and the most important thing that you need is the attitude to it. So this is an amazing gentleman. I really love his work. His book is called Man's Search for Meaning. I would recommend each one of you. There is a downloadable version on PDF. In fact, if you don't have it, I will send one to Professor Hemal, and he can share it with you. His name is Viktor Frankl. He was a psychologist in the times of the Nazi concentration camp. So his entire family was killed in the Nazi concentration camp. He saw death and suffering and everything around him. And he did not let that put him down. He did not let that put him down. So much torture went through him. And he was able to fight that entire thing and not only do well, but be successful after he came back from the concentration camps. And he came back from the concentration camps. Okay. And this is what he says. He says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Right now, whatever is happening around the world, we have no control over it. None of us have control. The biggest leaders, the most developed nation in the world, they have no control over what's going on. But you and me and all of us in this world have the ability to change ourselves. We are challenged into changing ourselves. And that is the attitude that you need if you want to win in life. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, click your finger. If I'm making sense, click your finger. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So the first thing, if you want to be a winner, if you want to be a champion, if you want to be an achiever in life, you have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. This is the most important thing. Please start learning to be uncomfortable if you want to win in life. And why do I say this? Have you seen a butterfly? Do you think the butterfly just, he was just born and suddenly just had these beautiful wings and started flying and everything? No, not at all. The butterfly was first a caterpillar. Then it was in that cocoon. And have you ever seen how it starts trying to come out from that cocoon? It is so difficult. I mean, it's pushing and pulling and trying and whatever. And if you pull it out, the caterpillar dies. You know that. There's a scientist who actually tried that and the caterpillar died. So the thing is, we have to learn to be uncomfortable, because only in discomfort can we find winners. How many of you know Usain Bolt? He's the fastest, athletics person in the entire world. What is so great about him? What is so great about him is that he trains for 365 days. Okay, and for almost 9 to 10 hours. 365 days, 9 to 10 hours. Why? And it's very comfortable, because there are days when you get up in the morning, you don't want to do any training. Hai na? Hota hai na? How many of you are into gymming? How many of you are into favorite hobbies? Have you ever found that? You don't want to do it. There are days when you don't want to do, you don't want to get up and you want to say, अरे बहुत ठंडी हो रही है, थोड़ा सो जाए, अरे बहुत लेजी हो गए हैं, थोड़ा सो जाए, अरे कल रात को बहुत देर से आए थे, मेरा पार्टी बहुत मस्त थी, अब थोड़ा और 1 घंटा और सो जाते हैं. ऐसे सोचते हैं कि नहीं सोचते हैं हम? सोचते हैं ना?
Yes.
Exactly. We all go through these days, but Usain Bolt, he does not allow that day, that moment to sit with him. He also feels it, but he tells himself, you know what? I have to do it. I've got to do it. And that is when he gets comfortable in being uncomfortable, because only for the 10-second race, 10-second race, mind you, he trains 365 days for 8 to 9 hours every day. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a winner in life, and I would really like you, if you have a pen and paper on you or something, please make a note of this. The first thing to win in life, like I said, is of course your attitude. But the very first thing, if you want to win, is start being comfortable being uncomfortable. If you feel अरे ये pandemic हो रहा है, क्या होगा, पढ़ाई में ध्यान नहीं आ रहा है, हम लोग घर से कैसे पढ़ेंगे, घर पे कितने सारे लोग हैं, focus नहीं हो रहा है, these are all excuses. Okay, if you want to be a winner, you can win. Like you said, remember Usain Bolt. So the first thing is be comfortable being uncomfortable. So I want to ask you right now, make a note of this in the pen paper wherever you have. What is making you uncomfortable? Anything, one word mein aap likho kahin pe. What is making you uncomfortable? Because we're going to talk about that as we keep moving. Okay. If it's making you uncomfortable, I'm saying please right now, close your eyes for 5 seconds, just 5 seconds, and say thank you. Close your eyes right now. For whatever it could be fear, it could be worry, it could be money, it could be health, it could be somebody, your children, whatever, or your parents, anything. Just think of them and just say, thank you. The reason why I'm saying this, it means you are ready for change. And change is always, 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 always for the better. Always. Okay? Because it means it is time for you. You're all, tech savvy, students and people. I'm not as tech savvy. So it is all about resetting, rebooting, and rewiring. It is time to reset, reboot, and rewire. Whatever is worrying you right now, whatever you are fearful about right now, whatever you are upset about right now, maybe you're feeling, hey, you know what? If I was able to meet my professors on a day-to-day basis, I would do maybe better. Okay, that's maybe your feeling. Or you feel, hey, you know what? If I could go to the library and sit and actually do my studies, I would feel better. But listen, this is a time for us to reset, reboot, and rewire, because we are all in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. You have your own boat that you're applying. Where do you want it to move? So the first thing, if you want to win in life, is be uncomfortable. The second thing, all of us, are born to be victorious. I mentioned this to you, all of us. Now imagine if all of you were little babies which just got delivered now in the hospital. Agar aap sab abhi born hue hote, how do you think all of you would look like? How do you think all of you would look like? Hemal, Brijesh, Vaishali, me, everyone would be the same. You would just be small babies in the cradle in the hospital. Our parents would not know one from the other. Am I right? Absolutely.
Yes.
Because we would all look the same hand, same head, 2 eyes, nose, everything. Everybody, all the children look the same when they are in the cradle. Okay, but something changes. Like I said, we are born the same, and we have the ability to be successful. Okay, whether that was a baby which is Mukesh Ambani, whether that is a baby which is Mr. Modi, whether it's a baby which is Priyanka Chopra, whether it's a baby who is maybe Ayushmann Khurrana, whoever, we would all be the same. Okay, but one thing changes. When you are born, and maybe your parents, or maybe your grandparents, or maybe people, your mama ji, tau ji, whatever, they take you in their arms. What is the first thing they tell you? What is the first thing they tell you? The first thing they tell you is, अरे ये तो बिल्कुल अपनी माँ के ऊपर गया है, अरे ये तो लगता है कि मेरे अपने दादा की तरह मैथमेटिशियन बनेगा, ऐसा लग रहा है, देखो कैसे हाथ चला रहा है, बोलते हैं कि नहीं बोलते हैं? ओके, जब ये सब लोग बोलने लगते हैं हमारे इर्द गिर्द, हमारी वायरिंग चेंज हो जाती है. हमारी वायरिंग ऐसी चेंज हो जाती है that we start thinking like them. So if somebody said you're going to be a mathematician, then my entire thing in my mind is I have to be a mathematician. And if I don't succeed in being a mathematician, if I'm not good in maths, if I do really badly in maths, then I am told, you know what, तुमसे ना हो पाएगा. सुना है कि नहीं ये कभी word? हाँ भाई तुमसे नहीं होगा,
True.
कोई
सही है.
रहने दे, हाँ रेवा दे बोलते हैं ना ये बोल,
Yes.
रेवा
Yes.
दे. Right. So that is what happens, and we believe, and then what happens? We start talking to ourselves. So if I have to ask you, who do you live with for most in your life? Which is the person you live with the maximum in your life? Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your aunt, uncle, who? Or your best friend? Who do you live with the most in your life? So here I want to say, who do you live with the most in your life is yourself. For 365 days, you are only living with yourself. So your biggest and most important relationship is first with yourself. And whenever we go through something which is, like I said, not so good in our lives, okay, maybe you did something and it was a mistake. What is the first thing you tell yourself? Arey, I'm so stupid, yaar. बोलते हैं कि नहीं? अरे मैं बेवकूफ था जो मैंने ऐसे सोच लिया. ये मेरी गलती है. We say this or we don't say this. We always say this. Okay. And what happens is when we start saying this, we start believing it. And when we start believing it, then we refuse to be successful in that particular area. So I'll just give you an example. I was walking into a market a few days ago. I love going to markets because all the fruits and vegetables are so fresh and so lively, and they just look so prosperous over there. Different colors and everything. I was very excited. I went to this market to buy my usual vegetables and fruits and everything, and suddenly there was a man, a hawker, who screamed out, "Bhabiji, please come to my thela, because I'm giving you every vegetable at the half the price, and I'm giving you these particular lemons." He had these amazing lemons, and he said, "Bhabiji, these lemons I'm going to give you for the price of one. I will give you 5." Now I'm a homemaker as well. Okay. I also believe in budget and economy and all of that. So moment he said 5 at the price of 1, I was pretty interested. मुझे वैसे नींबू चाहिए नहीं थे, लेकिन मैंने कहा try करने में क्या जाता है. So I got interested. And then he said one more thing which made me really turn. The one thing that he told me was, "भाभी जी, ये जो नींबू है ना, ये अमेरिकन है." I said, "American नींबू क्या होते हैं? I've heard about different kinds of lemons, but what is this American lemons?" So I did a U-turn and I went to him and I said, "Batao." So he said, okay. He took out the nibu, he took a knife, he sliced it, he put it in half, and then one half, he took it on his palm and he started squeezing it. He started squeezing it very, very, tightly. And as he was squeezing it, the drops started falling. When the drops started falling, I want to ask you right now, what is happening in your mouth? Are you feeling the sour taste of the nibu? Are you feeling it? Yeah?
Yes.
Is there a nibu in my hand?
No.
No. There is no nibu in my hand. There is no nibu anywhere around me. But you have started feeling this. So you know what this means? This means if you set your imagination to something, whatever it is, whether it's winning or failing, you are right. You can make it happen. So if you want to be a winner, then I would say start thinking of winning. Start thinking of winning, because if you can make something like a nibu, which I'm only talking about, I'm not even showing it to you. When you could do so much and actually create the nibu in your head and the sour taste in your mouth, your entire body changed, right? With the taste. If you can do this to something which is invisible right now, can you imagine what you can do with the power of your thoughts if you want to win in life? Oh, amazing. So right now I want you to click your finger and think of what you want to achieve. Just click your finger and think of what you want to achieve. Fantastic. Fantastic. Because 80% of success in life, 80% of victory in life comes from here. What you think? 80%. 20% is strategy. 20% is only strategy. तो हम ये जो strategy के ऊपर मंजन करते हैं ना, कोई फायदा नहीं. पहले अपना mindset सही करिए. पहले आप अपने आप से क्या बात कर रहे हैं उस पर ध्यान रखिए, क्योंकि हम हमेशा अपने आप से ना बड़े गंदी तरीके से बात करते हैं. हम अपने आप को कभी इंस्पायर नहीं करते हैं, हम अपने आप को कभी एलिवेट नहीं करते हैं, हम अपने आप को कभी अच्छा नहीं मानते हैं. When was the last time you looked into the mirror and said, "My God, you are so awesome"? When did you say that? I say that every day. I learned to say it. I was not like that. I've learned to say this because I think I'm a rock star. I think I'm a winner. And wherever I go with the attitude that I want to win. That is a talk that I have with myself. I don't need somebody to tell me this. I know myself. So when you are going through something which is not very good, your internal language has to change. You have to have the language of victory. And the language of victory, when something is not going right, if something is, you're worried about, this is what you must say. When something is not going right, please tell yourself, what is the opportunity here? This is a very important slide. If you want to take a picture, please take it. Okay. If something is not going right, please ask yourself, what else is possible? That means there'll be possibilities that will come through. Perhaps somebody will come out and say, hey, you know what? I can help you. Tell me about it. I'll help you. So it's all about that. Sometimes when you see something going and you're not very happy about it, maybe you gave your examination and it didn't work out the way you wanted to, you didn't get the kind of marks that you wanted to, or maybe you wanted to achieve something, you were doing something and you didn't achieve the level of success that you wanted to, and you're very upset about it, you're upset with yourself because you made a silly mistake. I'm saying, tell yourself, let's change this. You have the power in you. Tell yourself, hey, you know what? I can handle it. I'll know how to get through it. The moment you say these are magic mantras for victory. If you want to win in life, this is the most amazing mantra. I use it for with the clients that I coach. They are CEOs of large organizations. They are celebrities who I tell this to. They're very simple words. They don't cost anything, but they have an incredible power. So this is the second way to earn victory. The third way if you want to walk to victory, is your physical response. If what you can think, you can make it happen. Okay, your body can change. Do you think if you change your body, the mind can change? Absolutely. Give me a click. Give me a click. You can change. You remember if I tell you, think about something that makes you angry. Think about something that makes you hurt. Think about it right now for 15 seconds. Something that makes you really, really angry or makes you fearful or whatever. Just think about it. When you're angry, what happens? Your entire body contracts. You know that? एकदम ऐसे stiff हो जाते हैं हम. जब हम bodily इतने stiff हो जाते हैं, can you imagine हमारे जो organs अंदर है वो कितने stiff हो जाते होंगे, वो कितने tight हो जाते होंगे. मतलब आपने अपने heart को एकदम दबा दिया है, आपने अपने intestines को एकदम दबा दिया है. आप science students, so you all will know, right? So this is what happens when you do this. All right. I have a very nice technique. Whenever I'm angry, whenever I'm upset, whenever I'm fearful, whenever I'm sad, there's one thing that I do is I react differently. I react like a winner. A winner will not get upset. A winner will not be angry. And even if you're angry, even if you're upset, you will not stay there. And the way to do this is shake your ass. You all have an ass? A bottom. We all have a bottom. It supports our body. Okay. Whenever you're angry, whenever you're upset, you need to change your physical body. So I remember my mother used to tell me when I used to get angry, I used to have a lot of fights with her for silly things, and she used to always tell me, and then she would serve me food, and I would say, नहीं khana hai, mujhe khana nahi khana hai, and she would get very upset. She would say, क्यों नहीं खाना है? अगर गुस्से में हो ना, 2 रोटी और खा लो. And I would never understand this logic of, I would say, मुझे गुस्सा है, मैं क्यों खाऊं? मुझे नहीं खाना है. And she would say, ना बेटा, 2 रोटी और खा लो, एक गिलास ठंडा पानी पी लो. And I would never understand why she makes me have thanda pani and why she makes me have extra rotis. But then I realized that when you shift your mind from being angry to eating or doing something moving, you are actually shifting your direction of anger into something else. That's what you are doing. So the best way, if you want to change your body, we all have chemicals in our body. The stress chemicals is the cortisol. And if you want to kill the cortisol, then you have to build in your body serotonin, which is a happy chemical in your body, and dopamine, which is a motivating chemical in your body. And the way to do that is to shake your ass. So right now, wherever you are, I will ask you to do something. I want you to shake your ass. I want you to shake your ass. Dance. Just dance wherever you are. Just dance. Dance, 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 dance. Can you hear the music, Hemal?
Yes.
Dance. Shake your ass. So what happens when you shake your ass? You will not be angry. You cannot be angry when you shake your ass. You cannot be angry when you move your body. You cannot be sad when you shake your ass. Do you agree or you don't agree? Do you think it was interesting? Do you think you learned something? Click your fingers. This is my mantra. No matter where I am, it may be a bad traffic, it may be a presentation that didn't go right or whatever, I just shake my ass. I go to the loo and I do it, because sometimes you can't do it in front of everybody. But there's another thing. If you're in a place where there are lots of people and you can't shake your ass and you're uncomfortable shaking your ass, then what you can do is breathe. Breathing is the best technique to make your response, in control. So the way you do it is take 4 breaths in, hold 4 breaths, and release 4 breaths. The moment you do this 4 times, just 4 times, you will find your entire body calming. Entire body calming. So I would say, whenever you are upset, angry, irritated, jealous, you feel not so great. Yeah, sometimes you will just not feel so great. Breathe. You'll immediately balance your body. And if you want to be victorious, if you want to be successful, yeah, you'll come to situations which are challenging in front of you. And if you get upset and angry and whatever, you will make it worse for yourself. So if you want to really win in life, you have to first control yourself. You have to first control and balance your mind and your body, because that's what winners do. That's what all winners do. Whether you think of Ratan Tata, you think of Usain Bolt, you think of Virat Kohli, you think of MS Dhoni. What do you think he does? You think he never gets angry, he never gets upset? No, of course he does. But he's got these techniques which make him feel calm. And because he's calm, he can take right decisions. Do you agree? If you agree, click your finger. The 4th thing, if you want to achieve it, so I've spoken to you about being uncomfortable. I've spoken to you about internal talk, how you talk to yourself. I have to talk to you about how you change your physical response if you want to feel like a winner, even in a time when you feel upset or whatever. Change your physical response. The 4th thing is outcome focus. Tell me out here, how many of you love results and how many of you love excuses? How many of you love results? How many of you love excuses? If your winning team says, no, I could have won, yeah, but you know what, my bowler didn't play well. Will you accept it? Will you accept India, failing in a cricket match? Not at all. We don't want excuses from winners. What we want is results. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little story. There was a small village in, parts of Gujarat where they did not have rain for a very, very long time. So almost 3 or 4 years, there was no rain in that area. So all the villagers, the sarpanch, everybody was very upset and very worried and very fearful that what's going to happen. Our children are not having, are not able to sustain themselves. There's no water around whatever little water is there will almost be over unless we get rain. There was a traveler who was going by past the village, and he stopped by and he heard them all discussing this. He heard the villagers discussing this. So he went to one of the villagers. He said, "What's exactly happening in your village?" So they explained to him, there's no water, there's been no rain for the last 3 or 4 years, and they don't know what to do, etc. So he said, hey, you know what? This was exactly the same problem that was going through in one of the villages that I was in the north of India. And one of the things these people did was they sent their most wise and most mature and most intelligent of the villagers in the village to a small little hilltop, and all he did was play the flute. Okay. So they sent the most, wisest and most mature, member of the village or community to go out there and play the flute. So he said, why don't you guys try it? So Sarpanch said, itna kuch kar liya hai, ab to kuch hua nahi, chalo ye bhi try kar lete hain. So he asked who will do it, and there was one very old, not exactly a Shastri, but he was a learned guy, learned man in the village. So he said, okay, I will do it. So he said, great. So the next morning, he went up to the hilltop and he started playing the flute. The entire village came around the hilltop to see him, because they were all looking at him playing the flute and then looking up at the sky, looking at him playing the flute and looking up at the sky, thinking कि अभी बारिश होगी तभी बारिश होगी, लेकिन बारिश ना हुई. एक दिन चला गया, 2 दिन चला गया, 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 months, and nothing happened. Finally, this man came down and he said, you know what, this is all rubbish. It's not going to rain just because I play the flute. This is all nonsense, and let's not do it anymore. And he started walking away. Everybody was very disappointed, of course, because they were hoping that it would rain. Suddenly, an 8-year-old shepherd boy came running to the Sarpanch and he said, "Sarpanch ji, I want to do this. Please, please, please let me do this." So the Sarpanch ji said, "I mean, are you crazy? I mean, जब वो नहीं कर पाए तुम क्या करोगे?" Saying, "No, no, no, please, मुझे please करने दीजिए, मुझे please एक मौका दे दीजिए." So Sarpanch ji agreed and he said, "Okay, go to the hilltop and start playing the flute." So this boy, the next morning, he was so excited. He dressed in his best clothes and he took his flute and cleaned up his flute and everything. Did some practice sessions and then he went up, to the hilltop. His parents and the entire some villagers also came. He said, "अच्छा चलो ये क्या गुल खिलाता है, ये भी हम देख लेते हैं." So he went to the hilltop and he started playing. Day 1, nothing happened. Day 2, nothing happened. Day 3, nothing happened. Finally, 3 weeks passed, 4 weeks passed, 5 weeks passed. 2 months passed. And then one day, when he went to the hilltop, only his parents were down. His parents were so loyal. Every time he would play the flute, they both would come and they would sit while he played the flute. He went up to the hilltop and he started playing the flute. And do you know what happened? It started raining. It started raining so heavily. Entire village came out and they saw this boy. They took him on the shoulder and they started running and dancing and playing because they were so happy that their wish got fulfilled. And then everybody went to the Sarpanch ji and said, "Ye kya ho gaya? What did this boy do that this man could not do?" So the Sarpanch ji said only one thing. He said, the man was waiting for the rain to happen, but the boy was playing till the rain happened. Do you get that? The boy was waiting till the rain happened. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about being outcome focused. Be focused on what you want to achieve. Because, so for example, if some of you are saying, "Hey, you know what, I want to lose weight." Many of you must be saying this, "I want to lose weight. I want to be, fitter, or I want to be healthier." What are you doing right now for that? What are you doing right now for that? Are you looking at this lockdown as an excuse and saying, "Boss, I can't go to the gym, so how can I lose weight?" Or, "Boss, how can I control my diet, when I don't have a proper routine in place?" I'm saying being outcome focused is all about, being steady and accountable to what you want. If you are not accountable to what you want, you will not achieve it. If you are a person who says, "You know what, I want to be the most rock star person in my profession," then what are you doing today to make it happen? What are you doing today? And are you going to do it till it happens, or are you going to give up in between and say, "नहीं ये boss होता नहीं है मुझसे, नहीं यार, मतलब weather मेरे साथ मतलब मुझे help नहीं कर रहा है, तो मैं कहाँ से ये कर पाऊंगा, या you know what, मेरे माँ बाप ना अगर ज्यादा अमीर होते ना तो मैं यहाँ से यहाँ तक पढ़ाई कर सकता था." These are all excuses. These are all excuses because Dhirubhai Ambani, had nothing, and what did he set up today? So it's all in how you want to win and what you want to win. Because victory is all about being focused on results and not excuses. Every battle, they say, is won before it is fought. Every battle is won. So if you have set your mind that it's not going to happen, it is not going to happen. If you set your mind, it will happen. Nothing in the world can change it. So I want to ask you right now, you can take a screenshot of this because this is very important. And I would love it if any one of you has finishes this, to please send it to Hemal or me. I'd be happy to go through it. I want you to write down, what are your dreams and goals? Right now, what are your dreams and goals? And the most important thing in this is, why do you want that goal? Why do you want that goal? Have you seen some women and men when they're getting married? Their main goal is to lose weight. And what happens after marriage? The goal doesn't continue. Why? Because their goal was, the why was only up to getting married. That's it. It was not to have a fit body so that I can be healthy. Your goal has to be, the why in your goal has to be very important. Only that when your why is important will you be able to achieve it. Like my goal in my life is to touch 100,000 lives. I want to touch 100,000 lives in 3 years. That's my goal. And I'm so happy that I'm here today because I'll be touching maybe another 200 lives here today. And I hope out of the 200, at least there'll be 4 or 5 who really apply. And if you can surprise me and have more who actually apply what I've been telling you today, what I'm sharing with you today, because these are things that I have done in my life, and I'm just putting it out here for you. When you write down what are your goals, please mention why do you want this goal. And it has to be emotion. It cannot be, "Mujhe na 5 crore kamana hai." Nahi. I want to earn 5 crores so that I can live, I can provide a secure life for my family. Or I want to achieve X, a goal of say 55 kgs because I want to be healthy. I don't want to be dependent on people. That is your goal. That is the why of your goal. Also mention, how will you know when you have it? What will you see? What will you hear? How will you feel when you experience your goal? That is another very critical thing to happen. We never think of this aspect, but this aspect is very crucial to what you need to achieve. Yeah. And the most important thing, what is the first step that you will take to achieve this? What will you do today? Kal ki chodo, sham ki chodo, abhi, right now, what will you do? If you are able to do this, believe me, please follow me. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook and whatever. And please come back to me and tell me how your goal has been, because I can tell you 99.99999% you have the ability to achieve it. And at this point, I want you to click your fingers, think of your goal and click your fingers and say yes. Click your fingers and say yes, because you have the power to achieve. You have chosen to be here today at this webinar, means you are already wanting to be on the path of victory. So you have already achieved one padhao of your victory. So thank you for that. So we spoke about outcome focus. We spoke about your physical response, how you deal physically with situations. We spoke about your internal conversation. We spoke about being uncomfortable. The fifth and most important part is power of relationships. None of us can ever win, by ourselves. None of us. MS Dhoni cannot do what he did on his own. Mary Kom cannot do whatever she did on her own. Roger Federer cannot do whatever he did on his own. We all need support systems. We all need people who inspire us, who elevate us, who are our cheerleaders, who are, our critics. We also need critics, because everything cannot be hunky-dory. We need somebody to say, hey man, you have, you've done something which is not appropriate. Let's shift gears. You need somebody to tell you that. You need a mentor. You need a coach. You need a teacher. You need a guide. We all need relationships in our lives to be successful. Okay. So this is very important. Who you hang out with, who are the people who are around you, will decide whether you will be a winner in life or whether you will take time to win. Very important. Because there's people, if you have successful people around you, then you'll only be talking about success. Am I right? If you have successful people around you, you'll only be talking about success and ways to succeed and strategies to succeed and what kind of goals you need to succeed. If you are hanging out with people who are always pulling you down, who are always criticizing you negatively, then you're in the wrong set of people. Very wrong set of people. You need to be around people who are always pushing you, always guiding you, always encouraging you, always inspiring and motivating you. You need to have, it could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be your parents, it could be your teachers, it could be your friends, it could be maybe some mentors that you have maybe on your Facebook or LinkedIn pages or wherever. But the point is that you need to be around people who are teaching you something new to move ahead, who are teaching you something about yourself, about your profession, about your future, who are pushing you and driving you to be successful. The second thing in this is actively listen. हम कभी-कभी किसी की बात सुनते हैं ना, दोबारा कुछ बोलने के लिए. Yeah, we listen so that we can say something. No, listen to them. That's what relationships are all about. When you listen actively, that means you are involved in the relationship. You are invested in the relationship. And when I say invest in the relationship, it means do things that make your relationship credible. Okay? Be truthful. Be real and authentic. You don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You cannot pretend to be me. I cannot pretend to be you, because you are as awesome as you are. I'm as awesome as I am. Okay? We learn from each other. So invest in relationships. Don't use relationships. Be very clear who is your friend. Be very clear who is an acquaintance. And be very clear who, you don't care about. Be very clear about those people. Because if you start expecting from people who don't care about you, then you're going to be hurt. That relationship is not a healthy relationship. So be very clear about that. The fourth thing I would say is learn to forgive. Forgiveness is a very, very important aspect of a relationship, because none of us are perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. I'm also still work in progress. You are also work in progress. So there are some things, sometimes out of anger, out of irritation, or out of maybe jealousy, we may hurt people because of our egos. It is okay to look at them and say, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's okay to say sorry. Nothing wrong. Ego, Hannah, is just in your head. Nobody cares about your ego. Only you care about your ego. So ego has no place in a relationship. Okay. The other thing I would say, again, a very, very critical aspect in a relationship is communicate. Talk. Talk. Most of the times we don't talk. Don't just WhatsApp. Pick up the phone. Talk. It's nice. You know, it's a good thing to connect, especially now. We are not even seeing people. We will never even hug anybody ever anymore in our lives. We will never even handshake anybody for a long time. So we are all going to go back to namaste. So talk, communicate, demonstrate that you love people. If you love somebody, you know, your parents, your sister, your brother, you know, your friend, please reach out to them, and your professors as well. If they've done something good and they made a difference in your life, please go up to them and say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much. You've been so amazing in my life. Your contribution has been so great in my life. If this makes sense to you, click. If this makes sense to you, click. Because this makes a lot of sense to me. The sixth thing I leave you with is leverage time. We all have 86,400 seconds in a day. How are you utilizing your day? It's lockdown time, right? Lockdown time. We have, हमारे पास time ही time है. So what are you doing in order to achieve your victory? What is the opportunity you are, you know, able to take for yourself to win? So I would say this is a great time for you to create a routine. Please create a routine, because you're going to be schooling from your home for some time more now. Okay, create a routine. Begin your day with gratitude. I'm a huge believer in gratitude because I feel everything in this universe has been made for me. I have an internet connection. I have AC in my room. I have a great home. I have food on the table. I have the best of things available to me. I have, you know, there are health workers out there who are working to protect me. And I would like to say thank you. Begin your day with thanks. Because if you begin your day with thanks, you can never be angry. You can never be upset. You can never be fearful, because there's a whole universe out there having your back. Yeah. Include playtime. So while you are having fun, I mean, you're doing your work, you're studying everything, but also have playtime. And I would particularly want to say this to the professors out here, the faculty out here. Please do something fun for yourselves as well. Don't always just be in your, I mean, I know even, you know, the CEOs of the organizations today in the world are also doing bartan. Okay. Ye halat ho gayi hai hum sab ki aaj. So I'm saying, take some time for yourself, where you're either listening to music, or maybe, you know, in the garden, you know, even in a small home garden, you're doing something, or dancing, whatever makes you feel good, maybe doing crochet, anything. Include some fun time for yourself, you know, include a hobby for yourself. Learn one new thing. In today's time, you cannot have an excuse that, hey, you know what, I don't have the time. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we all have time. In fact, हमारे पास इतना time है, हमें पता नहीं कि हम करेंगे क्या ये time का. So I'm saying, please learn one thing new. It could be a language, it could be a sport, it could be a technique, anything. It could be learn one thing. If you have never read a book, I'm saying, please read a book. So do one thing which is great for you. Do one thing that gets you closer to your goal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the highlight. Do one thing that gets you closer to your goal every day. I have a fitness goal, okay? I have a fitness goal to be healthy. I'm an asthmatic. I've been an asthmatic for a very, very long time. And just a few months ago, I got over, my asthma medications. So I had this medication, which I stopped using since the last 4 months. And I'm so proud of myself. And I want to keep this going. So the show is not over yet, okay? So my victory is to continue this and see by December 2020, am I going to use this medication or not? So the aim is not to use this medication. So this is going to take me. So what do I need to do for that? I need to be working out at home. So I constantly walk about 15,000 steps in my house, 11 to 15,000, depending on, sometimes I'm busy, so I don't have that time, but I still walk. Or I will exercise. I put on YouTube and I exercise because it's important for my health. So I do that. That's my goal. Audit people and situations. Don't just audit your balance sheets and all that. Audit people. Some people are not worthy of being in your life. Their constant negativity is not important in your life. So please avoid those people. Do not connect with those people. There are some situations that are not very healthy. So I tell a lot of people that if you are worried about what's happening and all, please don't watch news. Audit it. There is no need to watch news. You just concentrate on yourself, your family, what you need to do to achieve your victory, because life will happen. Don't worry. Avoid some habits. If you have some habits like I want to Netflix every time, I want to sit on Hotstar and keep watching Hotstar for 4 hours, it's a waste of time. Do something that makes you feel good. And lastly, another important thing, like I said, 86,400 seconds in your day. How are you using it? The one important thing, and you must never, never forget this, I don't forget this at all, is celebrate your win. Every win, every small win, every little step that you take towards your goal, please celebrate it. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how big it is. You don't have to win big awards. It could be one small thing. It could be, hey, you know what? I always wanted to talk to a friend, and today I gave her a call. That's a win. That's a special thing. It's a very special thing that happened in your life. So please celebrate your win. And if you feel all of this makes sense, click your fingers. If you feel all of this makes sense, click your fingers. And the reason why I'm telling you to click your fingers, I will tell you at the end. The question I want you to ask yourself is, are you living the same day 365 days? Are you living the same day 365 days, or are you living different days? That decides your victory. If you're doing the same thing every day, if you're going to the same route every day, you're only going to land up at the same destination. But if you want to change your destination, you're going to choose another route. And this talk out here today, this session out here today, is to help you to live different days, to live days of victory, to live days of being winners and achievers. You got to fight harder, you got to dream bigger, and believe in victory, because victory cannot happen by me coming here and just telling you about it. You have to believe in it. Like, I strongly believe that anything that I take up, I will win. I strongly believe that. And if I don't win, because victory is not just about standing on the podium and getting a medal. No. Victory could also mean I tried, I did my best. That means I walked the step. I may not have reached the podium, but I at least walked. I was not standing still, because the moment you stand still, that means you're not wanting to move. And if you're not wanting to move, you can't climb Mount Everest. To climb Mount Everest, you have to walk to Mount Everest. Do you agree? You may not reach the top, but at least you are better than what you were, before you started. So it's important for you to fight harder, fight with your habits, fight with your mindset, which is sometimes negative. Fight with that. Dream bigger. Don't dream small at all. Listen. ड्रीम करने में कोई टैक्स नहीं लगता है. अभी तक गवर्नमेंट ने टैक्स नहीं निकाला है. सो प्लीज ड्रीम बिग. अगर आपके दिमाग में एक नंबर है, आपने सोचा कि नहीं, मुझे ना 4 साल काम करके मुझे 5 करोड़ कमाना, मैं कहती हूँ 1 0 और डाल दो. प्लीज, यू नेवर नो. I love Shah Rukh Khan, and I love Shah Rukh Khan because he's always like this. If you are like this, the universe will give. If you sit like this, the universe won't give, क्योंकि आपने अपने हाथ बढ़ाए ही नहीं. So I always say, extend your arms and reach out. The universe is ready to give. Click your fingers. Click your fingers. Think of your goal and click your fingers. Remember, no one can do the push-ups for you. You may get a great gym membership. You may do everything, but you have to go there and pick your own weights. So no one can make you win in life. The only person who can make you win in life is you. I'm only a trainer out here. I can only tell you what techniques are good. I can only tell you, hey, you know what, going by this direction, you'll be very good. But that's all I can do. But you have to walk that direction. You have to take the first step. And this is for that. So if you want to win in life, very simple techniques. Be uncomfortable. Check your internal talk. How are you talking to yourself? Change your physical response. No point getting angry, getting upset. Shake your ass or breathe, whatever. Okay, be outcome focused. That means focus on where you want to go, because results matter. Nobody wants excuses. Boss, nobody wants excuses. Okay, use the power of relationships in a good way. Use the power of relationships to help you grow, so that you can make others grow as well, and leverage time. We all have the same time. Okay, Richard Branson has the same time. Steve Jobs had the same time. Mr. Modi has the same time. Mr. Ambani has the same time. We have the same time. How are you and I using it? Okay. And now I just want you to focus. I'll give you 30 seconds now. I want you to write one thing out of all this. one thing that you will do today to reach your goal. One thing, just one thing. I'm not asking you to do 20 things, just one thing. What is the thing that you feel that, hey, you know what, after going through this, you've invested 1 hour today, and I want this to be a positive, I want this to be a productive 1 hour to you, because I'm so in gratitude that you're here today. I'm really in gratitude that you're here today. So I want you to help yourself. Like I said, you have to do the push-ups yourself. What is this one thing that you will do today that will take you towards your victory? 30 seconds, please write down. Done? Click your fingers. The reason why I say click your fingers, it's a trigger. Whenever you're upset, whenever you're angry, whenever this will remind you of your goal. Click your fingers and your goal comes focused to you. Click your fingers and you know where you want to go. A click your finger is a reminder to you to win. Your click your fingers is your victory click. This is your victory click. This is your victory click. Just remember that. I use it for myself. I love it. Remember, the victor is within you. Yes, Hemal, I'm done. I would love to hear any questions. I would love to hear if there's anything that any one of you has. I'd love to answer anything that, you know.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for sharing your
Thank you.
knowledge. It was a great session, and I'm sure it will help all of us to achieve our goal. And sure, we will start using your technique of clicking your fingers. And ma'am, there are 2 questions from Apurva madam. She is
Yes.
faculty at computer department in our institute. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is how to process with negative vibes and what to do when we feel them.
Okay, thank you. 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, thank you for that question. So you're saying when you have negative vibes around you, how do you handle it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a question? Yes, great. So
Yes,
the
yes.
first thing when you go through any negative vibes from people is, like I said, it's their drama. It is their issue. Okay, if they're having negative vibes, it's their problem. It's not yours. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do is your internal talk. What are you telling yourself when that negative vibe is happening? Okay, so you have 2 things to do. First is, tell yourself that whatever is happening, it's none of your business. It's their problem, not your problem. So don't make it your problem. Second thing is, if it's not your problem, you need to be away from those people. That means you need to rise above. Your thinking needs to rise above. Okay? Because they are not going to change. The only thing that you can change is your reaction. So when they're going through the negative vibe, you click your fingers and tell yourself, hey, you know what? I have to focus on my goal. I'm not going to focus on that. If you focus on that, you miss out your goal. So what is important? Focusing on the negative vibe or focusing on your goal? So focus on your goal, because that is more important. आप सारा अपना क्या बोलते हैं टाइम उस पे दीजिए, ना कि किसी और पे, क्योंकि वो तो वैसे करने वाले हैं, उनको आप रोक नहीं सकते हो. And you're not here to change people. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And second one is how to deal with negative people with whom we cannot keep out of our life.
So it could be a parent, for example. It could be, your friends or relatives or whatever. Like I said, the only thing, Vaishali, that we can change, is ourselves. We cannot change people around us. Okay? And the way to change people around, change yourself, is to change your reaction to them. So when negative people come to you, what is your reaction? Your reaction will be anger. Your reaction will be hurt. Your reaction will be being upset. Yeah, these will be your reactions. Or it could also be fear when negative people come around. These are the 4 kind of feelings that people go through. So when you go through all of this, you're only hurting yourself. So instead of feeling anger, instead of feeling upset, change your physical response. And your physical response needs to be something else. That means you need to divert your mind. Okay, so the one way to divert my mind, the way I always tell in relationships which you cannot change, like I said, it could be a parent, it could be your best friend, it could be a wife, a husband, whatever, is to first of all tell yourself that these people will behave the way they do, because that is the only way they know. Okay, the second thing is you need to rise above this, and the way to rise above this is tell yourself, you know what, I forgive you. Tell them in your mind, I forgive you. Because the more you hold on to what they're saying, every time they come into your vision, your body will start tightening. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And you cannot get them out of your life, right? So you need to change your response to them. And the way to change your response to them is just tell in your mind, you know what, I forgive you and I bless you. And focus on your goal. I keep reminding everyone this. Please focus on your goal. Your goal is not handling the negativity of people. Your goal is walking towards your path, whatever that path is. Because when you look into the rear view mirror, into what these people are doing, you lose sight of the road ahead. So please focus on the road ahead. Do not focus on these people, because these people are like, they're like people who will always want to pull you down. They're always like, it's like being in a well where all the frogs are pulling you down, the crabs are pulling you down. You got to keep moving up. Don't focus on them. You just focus on, I have to get out of this well. That's all you need to focus on. Yeah, I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, sure, ma'am. It looks like we have covered all our questions, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Hemal.
Yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. Lastly, I would also like to thank you our HOD, Hemal Patel sir, Principal of our Institute, Professor Jatin Vaidya sir, and Academic Director, Dr. Mahesh Bhatt sir, and the President of our University, Dr. Devanshu sir, for motivating and supporting us for conducting such beautiful webinars.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.